Welcome everybody. It's Jesse Olson here broadcasting North American GP Round 9 at Mid-Ohio. Hope everything's working properly. Glad to have you. Sorry for the late start. Qualifying's underway here. We had to work with some technical difficulties here at the beginning, as happens from time to time. Seems to be more often than not, but happy to be bringing you another round here of North American Grand Prix Open Wheel 2018 Indycar season. We're in week 9 here at Mid-Ohio, and we're going to jump right in board to qualifying here, which has a little over 11 minutes left. Gonna hop on board here with Kevin Lekamanski in his on car. I'm going to check on a couple of the settings. I'll let you ride along. Well, hang on, I'll switch you over to somebody on track. Sorry about that. Kevin was just finishing up a hot lap, and he's sitting P2 with a 106.449. So fast laps here at Mid-Ohio. All right, folks. It seems everything's is working here in order. Sorry, had to stay on board with Mark there for a few minutes as he was having a difficult time keeping his car on circuit. But I think we got the audio and the video working well. So right now, let's run down your provisional starting order. Jonathan Cuppett, first place right now in provisional pole, 106.294. Not far behind him is Kevin Lekamanski, Matt Taylor, Mark DeGraw, and Chris Moses in the top 5 right now. You're riding on board Mark DeGraw. We are at Mid-Ohio Raceway. Bring you up the track map here in just a few seconds. So if you're seeing that, we have 13 corners here. The long straightaway here on the backside should be a pretty good off-passing opportunity for these guys. Middle part and end part of the lap are pretty tight. Not a lot of room and not a lot of space to get a move done. So look for passing opportunities into turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4, especially as these cars use push to pass for 50 horsepower power boost down those that long straightaway there. Should be a good opportunity there to use it and make a move if you're trying to get around somebody. Let's take a look at the points battle here. We've got 8 races in with 4 to go. So this is the back third of the season. Matt Taylor is your points leader with 129, followed by Aaron Parsons with 115, and John Houston in third place with 111. Not far behind John is Brad Marys with 109, and Kevin Lekamanski just behind him with 105. So Matt Taylor with a 14-point lead, but a win by Aaron or John or Brad with a mid-pack finish would put somebody right back in the ball game here. So Matt's got to try to pull something off here. Looks like he had some weight last week and had an opportunity to shed that. Sorry we missed you on the broadcast last week. So we'll see. We'll check Matt here in a few minutes and see how he's running. Right now he's sitting in P3 qualifying. We'll bring up the team points here. T. Brock Dam Bam, that's Aaron Parsons, Sean Houston, 226 first position. Taking care of business, that's Matt Taylor and Jonathan Cuppett, 213, not far behind them. Precision Motor Racing, 196, and a tight battle with Captain Clutch Motorsports at 195. So a 1-point battle there. That's going to change hands very easily. And then a little ways back, Alternative Lifestyle Racing with 136. So those are your team points as they stand. So your individual points leader is Matt Taylor, but T. Brock Dam Bam, John Houston, Aaron Parsons are leading the points. Let's take ourselves back to qualifying here. Right on board with Mark DeGraw. Let's check out some of these trackside cams and see what these cars look like here. It's a fast lap here in Mid-Ohio. We're seeing lap times in the 106s. Probably going to be, I would say just about an hour-long race. I believe we're going 53 laps here tonight, or 52 rather. Check that in a few moments. Look at your leaderboard. Jonathan Cuppett still P1. As you pick Jonathan's car up, looks like he might be on an out lap. We'll switch here to Mark DeGraw, who looks like he's got a good time started for this lap. He is level through the first 2 sectors. Mark needs to find, looks like about 2.5 tenths. A tenth and a half, actually. Stand corrected. So 2 tenths. Mark can find that here in this last sector. Can get him in front. Let's see what his time is. It is a 1:06.570. So not. Mark DeGraw moves up a spot from 4th. I'm sorry, he was a little bit further back than what I had originally stated there. Mark DeGraw improves his time and his position. 1:06.570. Mark carrying 20 kilograms of ballast from last week's finishing position. Take a look here at Kevin Legmansky, who it looks to be 2 tenths down in the middle sector. Kevin just did a 1:06.531, so a little slow in the middle and the end of the lap. Right on board here with Jonathan Cuppett, your provisional pole sitter. Jonathan not carrying any ballast this week, so he should be able to take advantage of some of these other cars carrying 6X ballast, like Mark DeGraw we just saw there. So Jonathan just reset fast lap at 1:06.271, and that extends about 3, maybe 2.5 hundredths there. So just a little bit faster from Jonathan, just keeping himself a nice little almost 2/10 gap back to Kevin Legmansky. Looks like Kevin's on an out lap here. He's going down the big back straightaway. Headed down into turn 4. Also keep an eye on Mark DeGraw here. Mark takes it off. He might be on an out lap. Let's hop on board with Kevin Miller, who seems to be on a very good pace here, sitting in P6. Impressive qualifying so far from Kevin. Kevin drops half a second in that middle sector, so it's probably going to erode his chance at getting pole position, but he is about 8 tenths off, and it's got an opportunity. Oh, it takes it a little bit wide there to maybe get Chris Moses for the P5 spot. Chuck Carter, oof, close call with him. Chuck spins out. There's a car laying across the front of the track. Kevin Weiss through traffic. He lost a lot of time in that final sector. 107.74 is not going to help Kevin Miller in P6 with a 107 flat. Back to Matt Taylor here, carrying 20 kilograms of ballast as well. Looks like Matt may have caught a lapped car there and lost some time in the middle of the circuit. Matt's going to take it off into pit road, so it looks like he's going to grab a fresh set of tires and give it another shot. He's got to hustle. There's only a minute and a half left here in qualifying. Riding on board with John Houston, who looks to be on an out lap. John's sitting in P7 right now. Brad Mary's carrying a heavy 30 kilograms of ballast for this week, sitting in P8. And Aaron Parsons carrying 10 kilograms of ballast in P9. We expect to see Aaron probably a little closer to the front, but sometimes his race pace is better than his quality pace, it seems, and I expect to see Aaron pick up spots if he's going to start in P9. 45 seconds left here in qualifying. Jonathan Cuppett still your pole sitter. He is on track. Kevin Legmansky is in the pits. He's not going to have a chance at it. So is Mark DeGraw. They're going to look like settle for P2 and P3. Matt Taylor's pulled it in. So Chris Moses in the 5th position, looking to see if he can sneak up a few positions in the last minute. Moses is 4/10 up right now, and he would need to improve. Well, he's 4/10 down, I should say, rather, to Cuppett's best lap. But he can. Oh, and he takes it wide. That's gonna do it for Chris, and that's probably gonna do it for anybody who shot at a chance of pole. Kevin Miller's still on track. He was level in the first sector. Finds himself 2/10 in the hole in the middle sector. Kevin Miller could grab a spot here. Needs to keep it tight. And, oh, Kevin, a little too much throttle, oversteers it and takes it off. So Kevin Miller not able to do anything on his final attempt here in qualifying. That's probably going to bring us to a close. Aaron Parsons has pulled it back in the pits. And I show Kevin Legmansky on track, but he's probably on just a recon lap here to get refamiliarized with the car with weight and tires. It's always a strange transition to manage from 25 minutes of running the car really light with fuel and the alternate tires and give it your best go at a flyer. Now these guys will have the tanks filled up, and some of them might start on the primary tire. We'll keep an eye on the tire strategy. Of course, everybody qualifying on the alternates, and that's a wrap for qualifying. Jonathan Cuppett takes the pole position with a 106.271. That covers him by, looks like, about 1/10 through the top 10. So pretty tight. Jonathan with a 2/10 advantage over Kevin Legmansky in P2. So we'll check on a couple things here. And we're going to get this sequence transitioned over to the race setting. Again, 52 laps here at Mid-Ohio. Jonathan Cuppett's going to lead the pack. Standing starts here at NAGP, so that doesn't guarantee that he will be the first car to the first corner. It's always an interesting phenomenon to watch these cars launch from from 0 to real fast, probably 100 something miles an hour down this little short chute here where they're going to start. You see some cars lined up there in the back. We'll take a look at that. So this looks like some of our drivers not able to get a straight shot down the start. So we'll have to keep an eye on the back of the pack there. If there's any mayhem trying to navigate that turn and get on the throttle as fast as I can to keep up with the cars in front. So season 35 starting to unfold before us. Matt Taylor is your points leader. He's starting P4 tonight. He is carrying a little bit of ballast. I'm sure he'd like to lose that, but I'm sure he'd also like to protect his points lead. So that will be interesting to see how aggressive Matt is on the front foot tonight, trying to gain positions and maybe not drop weight, or we'll see if he steps back. We'll also keep an eye on some of these tire strategies these guys are running. So far, looks like we do have a couple guys on the primary tires. We'll see who starts on which tires and how that pans out for tonight. Tire strategy can always play a factor here with these cars. If you're not familiar, 2 tires, they have to run an alternate, faster set but a shorter lifespan versus a primary tire with less overall grip but a little bit more durability, able to have these drivers run a little bit deeper into a stint, take a little bit more fuel load, and stretch out that mileage. So we'll run down your starting order here. See if we can't get a nice view on the cars. That pit wall's a little bit in our way. But your pole sitter, Jonathan Cuppett, followed by Kevin Lekmansky, Mark DeGraw, Matt Taylor, so taking care of business there in a battle with Captain Clutch Motorsports right at the front. Chris Moses representing his team in P5. John Houston in P6. Kevin Miller, strong run in P7. Brad Marys, P8, carrying 30 kilograms of ballast again. Aaron Parsons, P9. Alan Jacobs, P10. Strong qualifying there for Alan Mateo with a great time. P11. David Zahn, 13th. John Wathen, 14th. Joel Ekman, 15th. 14th. Iggy Jordy is 15th. Greg Myers in 16th. Brian Story, 17th. Dale Bowwag, 18th. Jake Feemster, 19th. David Rowley, 20th. Santiago Campo, 21st. Josh Slade, 22nd. Chuck Carter, 23rd. Lou Mascarelli, 24th. Tom Traskell, 25th. Sergio Calderon, 26th. Omar Gomez, 27. So 27 cars tonight. The lights are on, folks. We're about ready to kick off round 9. Sorry, trying to grab the start here, folks, and I might have missed it. We're actually on board with Aaron Parsons right now, keeping an eye on the midfield battle as they come through the turns. Looks like everybody's able to manage it. Right now, Jonathan Cuppett's out front of Kevin Lekmansky. Matt Taylor's moved up a position, P3. Kevin Lekmansky still right behind Jonathan Cuppett. Jonathan starting on the alternate tires. Kevin starting on the alternate tires. Take a look back to Matt Taylor there, starting on the primary tires. We're already starting to see your leaders pull away here. Chris Moses has moved up to P4. He's starting on the alternate tires. Should be able to get around Matt Taylor here for the position. he's going to want to do that as quick as possible so he doesn't lose this lead battle. We got a car running wide. That's Mark DeGraw in P5. So it looks like Mark has lost a position there to Chris Moses, and he is under threat from Kevin Miller, who's moved up from his P7 position. Kevin Miller with a fantastic start. Kevin taking a look, but thinks twice about it. Tucked right up there behind Mark DeGraw. Mark started on the primary tires, and Kevin on the alternates here, so Mark's going to have to try to defend. It may be futile against a car on fresh alternates here at the beginning of a race. Chances are your tires aren't up to temperature, and you got a full tank of fuel or more fuel than the guy following you. So keep an eye on this battle in front as well. Matt Taylor has conceded the position to Chris Moses, who now starts to hunt down the leaders. Kevin Legnansky still within striking distance of Jonathan Cuppett. Kevin now 0.8 seconds behind your leader, and Chris Moses 2.2 back, about 2.5 seconds back. All three of these drivers here on your alternate tires. So they'll be looking to put in some hot laps and start stretching the pace on the drivers driving on the primary tires, which would start with Matt Taylor. See, John Houston is behind Matt. He is on the alternate, so Jonathan's probably going to catch Matt Taylor. Aaron Parsons, his teammate, also started on the alternates, and Kevin Miller, who we just saw up as high as P6, looks like he's lost a position here to the T-Rock Dam team, and riding in P7. Brad Mary's with a solid start in P8. Brad's got a heavy car this week, so he's going to try to stay close to the front here and maybe gets opportunistic here, picks up an extra spot or two. Right now he's in a good position to lose all the ballots for next week, but it's getting late in the season and points are really starting to matter right about now. David Zahn, P9th, and he's followed by Brian Story. Solid start for him in 11th. Iggy Jordia. Joel Ekman, P12. With Greg Myers right behind him. So a good start here for Greg. Santiago Campo, 14th. John Wathen is 15th. Now Jacob, 16th. David Rowley, 17th. Dale Baldwick, 18th. Mateo, 20th. Chuck, 21st. Josh Slade, 22nd. Lou Mascarelli, 23rd. Mark DeGraw is in the pits. We must have missed something with Mark. I'm not sure if he is out or if he is on an extended pit stop. Omar Gomez is in 25th. Tom Traskell has retired and Jake Feemster has retired. Mark is still in the pits and we'll keep an eye. We're not sure if he's done. Mark DeGraw has left the service, so Mark DeGraw is out. Kevin Legnansky loses his teammate Mark DeGraw. So any shot at a team championship just got a little bit tougher for Captain Clutch here. Kevin keeping Jonathan Cuppett real honest here. He's been half a second to a second back of him. Jonathan's last lap was a 1:08.3. Kevin's was a little bit better, 1:08.1, which is his fast lap, compared to Jonathan's fast lap of a 1:08.2. So these guys trading tenths here and there on the racetrack. Any little slip up or bobble here from Jonathan, and Kevin's going to be right there to pounce on that position. Looks like we've got a battle back here for P5. John Houston has made his way around Matt Taylor. Aaron Parsons is knocking on the door, and he's bringing Kevin Miller with him. 6 laps in the books here at Mid-Ohio. on board here with Aaron Parsons. Looks like he was able to get the move done on Matt Taylor. You see he's clear. Let's hop on board with Kevin Miller, who is also on an alternate tire. Ooh, Kevin gets a big wag of the tail there. He tries to put the power down and close that position on Matt Taylor. Kevin on the better tire here, you would think he'd have an advantage. But we're turning 7 laps here, so if he's going to get the move done, he needs to do it sooner or later, as his tires will eventually start to wear off. And any aggressive moves to gain a position is going to be a little bit trickier to accomplish. Kevin Miller with a best lap of 108.2. It's 4/10 faster than Matt's best lap. We're seeing Kevin's on the push to pass button, but not able to get the move done. It brings him a little closer to Matt. Maybe he can take advantage of the tire compound here. Hop back on board with Kevin Lemansky for a moment. He's threatening Jonathan Cuppett. Looks like they've lost Mateo. Looks like Kevin, gets a handful there. Good catch from Kevin, but that's going to move him a little out of striking range from Jonathan. We'll hop back on board here with Kevin Miller. Kevin getting real close to Matt Taylor at the end of that straightaway. Has to back out of it, and he'll try to get another run here. Matt takes it a little bit wide, but he's able to get a higher exit speed versus Kevin's tighter line. Kevin not really in a position here to use the push to pass. Oh, we've got a car off. I didn't see who that was. See if anybody's dropping through the order. It looks like it was David Raleigh. Took it wide there. Right at the top of that hill. Looks like he kept it away from everybody else. Good on you, Dave. He's just taking a ride through the grass. Got a battle back up front. Kevin Lemansky now within 0.3 of a second. Coming into this tight hairpin. Kevin setting up wide, going to try to get a strong exit onto the big back straightaway. Let's see if Kevin jumps on the button. No, Kevin still 10 push to passes left, according to his steering wheel. He is able to get a draft on Jonathan, but not close enough to make a move. We're starting to come up on lap traffic here with 9 laps in the books. It's a short circuit, so it doesn't take very long to catch up towards the back of the snake. Lou Mascarelli right now in 20th position, last car in the lead lap. Whoa! Big check up there. Kevin Lemansky takes it off. Lou ducks in the pits. Kevin's going to lose a bunch of time to Jonathan Cuppett there. Kevin doing a nice job of keeping it out of the back of him, but he's going to lose some track position. Right now, hopping on board with Kevin Miller, who's still working on Matt Taylor. 10 laps in the books. Kevin taking a little bit wider line. We've got a car off in front. That looks like it's David Raleigh again, and that might be. We'll see if David gets it restarted or if that's the end for him. Kevin Miller still just a couple tenths back with Matt Taylor here. They're going to bring it through the last sector here. twisty section here with elevation. Not a really good passing opportunity, but an area to get it wrong and lose a lot of time. These guys work around Omar Gomez, who had an off there in the final corner, turn 13. This is really the best area to get a move done. They're going to have this short shoot here up into turn 2, which is a hairpin that leads onto the big back stretch. Technically turn 3 is in the middle of the back stretch, but you can take it flat out, so it's not really much of a turn. It's more of a bend. Kevin Miller is on the button. Let's see if Matt Taylor can defend. Kevin Miller hard on the brakes. He locks it up going into turn 4 there, but he's able to get the move done. So Kevin Miller, patience is a virtue, eventually gets the move done on Matt Taylor, and that's brought Brad Marys into the fold. Brad got a heavy car this week, but he is on the alternate tires, and he's probably looking to get around Matt here sooner than later as well. Brad turned in great laps, 108.5 to 108.199 was his best. That's faster than Matt Taylor. So no wonder he was able to catch up. Matt lost a little bit of time in that battle there with Kevin Miller, but Kevin does a good job of just getting it done on the straightaway. They're running up here on lap traffic. 18th place car is Chuck Carter, and he's going a lap down, so Kevin Miller able to get by. Matt Taylor clears Chuck. Brad does now too, so Matt Taylor right back in sights for Brad Marys. Brad taking the car right up on those curves. Nice tight line here from Brad. It's a power down, real smooth, not getting much wheel spin. If he's maybe still has some life in these tires. We're 13 laps in, so that marks the quarter distance. It's probably going to be a 2-stop race. I think these guys be getting somewhere between 15 laps or so on these alternate tires. So I wonder if these tires are starting to go off. And just as I say that, we've got a battle back up at the front. Kevin Lekmansky working on Jonathan Cuppet again, so he's able to reel Jonathan back in. I don't know if maybe John lost some time in lap traffic or what. Their last laps are pretty close at a 109, so that slows her a little bit off their faster lap times. Both of them working the high 107s. Kevin able to make up some ground on the back straightaway there, working the draft here on Jonathan Cuppet. He's tucked up right on the gearbox there of Jonathan Cuppet. John doing a good job of just finding the apexes and driving the line. He's basically putting all the onus on Kevin here. If he wants to be aggressive, he's gonna have to do just that. Stick his nose in somewhere or try to see if there's an area where he's got maybe an advantage on John, but I don't see much of one. And right in their mirrors is John Houston. He's gained a ton of ground. He's followed by Aaron Parsons. Chris Moses was in third not too long ago. Take a look at Chris's laps. Chris must have hit it. He had a 112 in there, but Chris just did a 125. So I wonder if Chris made a pit stop. Let's take a look and see. Chris Moses is in the pits. That would explain him dropping position. And it looks like he's going to come out on another set of alternates. He's dropped down to 13th position now. And he's under threat for that position. David Zahn catching up to Chris here. Let's see how Chris can get these tires up to temperature and if he has any threat here from David. David theoretically should have a little bit less fuel. Looks like Chris is going to hang on to that 13th spot. He's your first one in the pits that we've seen there. Looks like he came in on lap 14. Just as I said, lap 15, I would think these tires would be starting to go away. Hop back on board with Kevin Legmansky and Jonathan Cuppett from the front. Looks like John Houston's fallen back a little bit. Didn't catch anything from John there. Let's take a look at his lap times. John with a 1:11 on his last lap, so he must have had a bobble or something. He lost about 3-4 seconds there. We've lost Dale Bellweg from the server. Now down to 18 cars, 16 of those cars on the lead lap. Jonathan Cuppett putting cars laps down right now. He's got 2 of them. Jonathan Cuppett's led all the way from the drop of the green flag. Got a good start and was able to protect his position from Kevin Legmansky. He's lost a little bit of time to Jonathan now, so these guys starting to get a little stretched out. Looks like we've got a battle back here for 6, but Brad's coming in the pits. So timing might have tricked my eye a little bit and said there was a battle where there wasn't. So Brad Mary's bringing it in here, working lap 17, so he put 16 laps on his tires. Jonathan Cuppett's still out there, running solid 108s. 107.896 is his best lap. This guy's putting Sergio Ocampo in your last points paying position, putting him a lap down. 15 cars still on the lead lap. Jonathan Cuppett comes in. Kevin Legmansky comes in after 17 laps. So 17 laps. Keep an eye on your leaders here. Jonathan Houston's going to inherit the lead, followed by Aaron Parsons. So they're taking their ultimate tires an extra lap. Kevin Legmansky still in the pits. Jonathan Cuppett coming out of the pits. Jonathan onto the primary tires. Kevin's going to do another stint on the alternate tires. So, interesting. We'll probably see these guys trade spots here on the track, as Kevin's going to have an advantage on the softer compound. 18 laps, and we're seeing our pit cycles. I'll keep an eye on Matt Taylor. We know Matt started on the primary tires. He should be able to take his car much further into a run on this opening stint and then be able to put together the go fast laps for the later half of the race. We'll keep an eye on Matt Taylor's track position here. So Jonathan Cuppett has come back out in 5th, but Kevin Legmansky has already closed the gap. Kevin, now on your softer compound of tires, should be able to get by Jonathan Cuppett here for P5, but I don't think John's just going to pull over and let him go by. Kevin's going to have to earn it. This might be a good spot to do it. Get the power down. Taking a look on turn 1. Jonathan's not going to actually give him too much resistance. Kevin Legmansky with a nice move there. It's a battle for 4th right now, but it will mean a little bit more to these guys. after all these cars cycle through, as they should be your leaders. John Houston scoring in the 3rd position on the primary tires. Did Houston beat these guys out of the pits? Let's take a look at Houston's lap. He pitted on lap 18. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on that. But that's a battle for position on track, and Houston on the primary tire. Kevin should be able to size him up here on the straightaway. Getting real close. Kevin gets that win right under the back of John Houston's car. See if Kevin takes a look into 2. He does. Kevin on the inside. Gonna have to keep it down there and give Houston some room. Kevin not on the push to pass to defend, which means Houston gets a chance to motor by on the outside. Real close there through that turn 4 section, and Kevin Lemansky makes it work on the inside. John Houston wasn't going down without a fight there. That's put Jonathan Cuppett right on the back of Houston now. Now Houston and Cuppett both work on the primary tire. We should see Kevin Lemansky start to open some room up to these two, and he's going to need to be on the go pedal as much as possible here if he's going to have to switch over to primary tires on his next stop. He'll be at a disadvantage, so he's going to look to build as much room as he can with these guys, and maybe hope these guys get in a tussle. That would play right into to Kevin's cards. If these guys lost a little time racing with each other, that would be in Kevin's advantage if he can just put in solid fast laps. Jonathan Cuppett on the push to pass takes a look at Jonathan Houston. Jonathan does a great job defending on the high side, which gives him the line for the next corner. And once he gets that line, it's doors shut. Sorry, not going to happen this time, Jonathan Cuppett. You can knock again next lap. John Houston doing a great job defending position 2. It's a solid run for the T-Brock Dam Bam team. Aaron Parsons, not too far behind these guys. Also took primary tires that time. Sitting back about 4.5 seconds from these guys. But keep your eye on Aaron Parsons there. You never know. He can put in the fast laps and just sneak right up on these guys, and he'll be in the thick of a battle for here for P2. Alright, sorry folks, had to step away just for a second there and check on some technical bits. Hopefully we're still live and functional here. Staying on board with Jonathan Cuppett, who was working John Houston, has a big correction to make on the exit of that last turn 13. He's going to lose some ground. So John Houston did a great job getting in and out of the pits. Initially came out ahead of her leader, so tip of the hat to the strategy there from John Houston to get some position on track. He effectively pitted himself around Jonathan Cuppett, going on to the same tire strategy. So now, one thing we have new for this season here, I've mentioned it before, we do have pit lane speed limits. and abusing the pit lane speed limit, that will get you a penalty and several severities depending on how fast you are in the pit lane. I don't have any way to find that out here from my spot, but after the race, any of that will be posted. So keep that in mind. That actually has determined the outcome of one of our races this year. If you remember way back to Laguna Seca, Aaron Parsons was your, I believe, your provisional winner, and Mark, if I'm not mistaken, Mark DeGraw was position 2, but after the penalty was served to Aaron Parsons, he lost that win to Mark DeGraw. So keep an eye on the discussion boards for the official results, as sometimes the way they finish here on the broadcast is not how they finish on the official paperwork. So Jonathan Cuppett still working on John Houston here. We've got some battles all over the track. Aaron Parsons now under pressure from Matt Taylor, who did finally switch over to those alternate tires. And he's brought Kevin Miller, who looks like he's grabbed a second set of alternate tires. He's brought him with him. Hop on board with Matt here. Advantage Matt with the alternate tires. Now he is carrying 10 more pounds. Oof, Matt takes it really wide on exit of turn 1. Somehow keeps it straight and keeps on accelerating. Matt carrying 10 extra kilograms of sticks ballast over Aaron here. Matt is on the button, asking for some extra horsepower, and I bet Aaron is using that button to defend from Matt. Matt did his first stint on the primary tire, so Matt Taylor here is going to need to start picking up track position as soon as he can. Looks like you can see he's able to carry more speed into the entry of these corners. Let's check Matt's lap times. Looks like he came in after 19 laps. So after 19 laps on those tires, he's probably going to be wanting to put in, whoa! Matt with a big slide coming out of 13. Tough to get the power down there because of the elevation and camber. And he loses some more ground here to Aaron Parsons. Matt Taylor now under pressure from Kevin Miller. Kevin right up close in the back of Matt. Had to steer to the inside. They avoid Alan Jacobs on the outside. Jacobs now in the 16th position, a lap down. Miller really just kind of sitting in the capper seat. If anything wild happened up here with Matt and Aaron, who we would not expect to see that happen with these two veterans, but any sort of contact or checkups, and Kevin Miller's going to be there to pounce on those positions. You see, look at this Iggy Jordia having a ride out there in the grass. So lap cars not playing too much of an advantage or disadvantage here for any of these drivers. We'll check back up here to Matt, who's reeled Aaron back in. He's just a tenth or so back. Matt's sitting really wide, going to try to squeeze the power and get the best run he can coming out of turn 2. Working lap 27 of 52, folks. So just past the halfway point. Matt continuing to put pressure on Aaron Parsons for P4. Back up here to your P2 battle. It's John Houston, still with a slight advantage over Jonathan Cuppett, but they've run up on the lap car of Santiago Campa, who spins right in front of them. Houston has to check up. That's going to give Cuppet an opportunity. They go side by side into turn 1. It looks like that's David Zahn there. That's in the orange car. He's a lap down. Jonathan Houston has a bit of a stumble there. That lets Jonathan Cuppet by. Houston can't get the power down coming out of 2. Jonathan exits turn 2 much cleaner and gets the pass done on the back straightaway. Jonathan Cuppet back to position 2. We'll stay close with this battle as Houston now falls back a few tenths, but he's gonna be looking to take the fight right back to Jonathan. These guys are now on the same strategy. Houston may have a slight advantage. They may have came in a lap or 2 ahead of Jonathan, so his tires might be just a hair fresher, but almost virtually same strategies. Houston's got to check up there in turn 13 and get the car situated. He loses even more ground to Jonathan Cuppet. So I'll hop back here on the Parsons-Taylor battle for P4. We've got battles all over the track tonight. Aaron locking it up there going into turn 2. Matt, is he going to try to take advantage? He is. He's on the push to pass, 50 horsepower for him. Aaron Parsons also on the push to pass, defending from Matt Taylor. So he's asking everything from the car. We've run up in a gaggle of lap traffic. 3 lapped cars. Cars of David Zahn, Josh Slade. Kevin Miller also hanging on the back of Matt Taylor. Let's not forget about Kevin. Still in striking distance to Matt Taylor and Aaron Parsons. Now we have seen Kevin do 2 stints on the alternate tires, so we know that he's probably going to be coming in real soon and then going on to slower tire. But a nice run here by Kevin Miller, regardless of the strategy, to hang on the back of Matt Taylor. Be fighting for a top 5 finish. 30 laps in, Kevin McManski still your leader, 6.5 seconds to the good of Jonathan Cuppet. John Houston in P3, his teammate a little further back, about 4 seconds. Still in that battle with Matt Taylor for that 4th position. Ez has done a great job defending. Back on board here with Matt, see if he can get a little underneath Aaron here, but he can't quite get that done. It looked like he was setting up to get a faster exit. Matt floats there into turn 1. Aaron gets a better exit. Matt will look to set him up here coming out of turn 2. Does Matt use the push pass? No, he doesn't. Love to see how long Matt Taylor can hang on these alternate tires. He's probably got about 12, 13 laps working these tires. They may start to be going off, and he's going to have to go in and grab another set. But he's still got 20 to go, so it looks like if Matt's going to have to make these tires work for at least 3 more laps before he goes in for another set. You start to see him lose some time to Aaron, whose tires and fuel is probably getting to a really good state for him to put in better laps. Parsons' last lap of 108.5 to Taylor's 109 flat. Miller doing 108.7s right behind Taylor. Cars tighten up a little bit, some accordion effect here in this middle to last sector here. It's just sort of a rolling hill of S's. Some great on-camber and off-camber corner, some blind crest. Some truly good elevation here at this track that can play some tricks on you if you get it wrong and you get offline. It's tough to get the rhythm going again. You really can lose a lot of time in that section just by not being on rhythm. Kevin Miller looks to have a good rhythm going himself. He's caught right up to the back of Matt Taylor. He's going to have a shot on the back straightaway. Does Kevin take a chance and use the push to pass? No, he's going to just ride here at the draft of Matt. And they are catching back up to Aaron Parsons again. We'll stay on board with Kevin, as this is a great place to watch the battle here for P4 and P5. Kevin was a little bit oversteer coming over the top of that hill. Also, I was talking about those elevation changes make the application of throttle very tricky in certain corners. These off-camber downhill corners really just fall away from you. It's tough to get the power down. See Kevin's car move around there a little bit, but he's able to stay on throttle. Hop back up here to Taylor. See if he's able to get a run at Parsons. Doesn't look like it. Kevin Miller still half a second back from Matt Taylor here, working 34 of 52 now. The laps just keep clicking here. Let's not forget Kevin Legmansky, your leader, now out front to almost 8.5 second lead. He'll be going on to the primary tires for his last stint. So he'll be looking for as much lead as possible from the likes of Jonathan Cuppett. And I believe that actually is Kevin Legmansky coming in. He's gone 35 laps on 2 sets of alternates. Kevin Legmansky in the pits. Also looks like John Houston in the pits. Chris Moses, haven't talked much about Chris here in a while. P7 on the primary tires. So Jonathan Cuppett inherits the lead. Aaron Parsons rather, in P2. He has not pitted, and he is still in a battle with Matt Taylor. Matt taking a look. Matt's going to come in for a set of tires. Maybe he'll try to get an advantage here in the pits. Matt brings it down to pit road speed limits. Important not to get a time penalty coming in too hot to the pits. Looks like we've got a car off track. That's David Zahn. Caught that just as we saw our drivers coming in the pit stop. David gets in the wall outside of the pit, so if he's going to limp around, he's going to have to go a whole lap. David's wheel is all sorts of messed up. David's just going to have to limp it around and get back in the pits and get that fixed if he's going to want to try to stay on track. We're seeing Matt Taylor now come out of the pits. and get around the slow car of David Zahn. So Matt Taylor makes this his pit stop. That's his last one. He takes another set of alternate tires, then he'll be good to go to the end. John Houston has came out in front of Matt Taylor in P5. He is directly behind Jonathan Cuppett. I'm not sure if Jonathan has made all his pit stops. We'll have to keep an eye on that. It looks like no, Jonathan just made his pit stop last lap. So these guys now battling on track position, both on the alternate tires. Check it on Kevin McManski, who is now on the primary tires. He had about an 8-second lead going into that pit, and now it looks like his lead is down to 6 seconds. So either Kevin's lost 2 seconds on pure pace, or maybe there was a little bit of time lost in pits as well. Jonathan Cuppett now is going to be in attack mode. But Jonathan Cuppett's got to be careful, because breathing right down his neck is John Houston. And both of these guys now on the primary tires, and both of them not carrying any ballast. We'll see if John Houston can get up to Jonathan Cuppett here. He showed great pace and took the pole position. So your pole sitter tonight, Jonathan Cuppett, now in P2. They are reeling in Kevin McManski, and it's going. Oh, Jonathan Houston takes it wide, coming out of turn 1. He's going to lose time. And he's going to catch Greg Myers. It looks like he'll be able to get around Greg. Greg, usually a very respectable, predictable driver. Greg just makes some room for Jonathan. Well, good on you, Greg. Greg Myers having a solid run, top 10. Now your first car a lap down. 9 cars still on the lead lap. Alan Jacobs. Haven't said anything about Alan Jacobs tonight. We'll put some camera time on the car here. Looks like Alan having a very solid run there for 9th position. Brian Story, also haven't talked much about Brian, but having a great run here in P8. Chris Moses still out there. P7, kind of out there in no man's land right now. He's got about 5 seconds to Parsons. Like Brad Mary's been a loss in the mire here. Brad must have had an incident. He's 2 laps down. Brad working 14th position here. Hop back on board with John Houston. He's now 1.5 seconds back from Jonathan Cuppett, who is now only 4 seconds back from Kevin McManski. So Kevin's lead has been cut in half. In a matter of 3 or 4 laps, that is simply not going to get it done. I'm not sure if Kevin's had to work around a few lap cars. I don't see any cars between him and Jonathan. It's not a question of if Cuppett catches McManski, it's a question of when. Looks like we've got a car in the pit wall coming into the pits. That might have been Alan Jacobs. He's making a pit stop now. We'll hop back up here to Jonathan Cuppett. Now just 3 seconds behind Kevin McManski. We've got 12 to go. Plenty of time for Jonathan Cuppett to run down Kevin McManski. He's now 2 seconds clear of John Houston. Matt Taylor has hung on to the 4th position. Kevin Miller is in 5th. And Aaron Parsons is in 6th. And Aaron on the primary tires. Let's check Aaron's lap times. show a 134. That seems a bit slow, even for a pit stop lap. So Ezza lost a lot of time somewhere around that 37th lap. Hop back on board here with Jonathan Cuppett, who is now pushing the 2-second barrier to Kevin McManski. Now, what we don't know is how much Jonathan has used his push to pass while he was battling earlier for a position. I'd imagine Kevin has a whole bunch left because he didn't really have anybody to battle with once he got clear of Cuppett on that second stint. And John Houston is closing in ever so slightly, just inside 2 seconds here to Jonathan Cuppett. So when Cuppett reaches Legmansky, he's either going to need to clear him quick, or John Houston is going to be just a corner behind them and ready to pounce for P1. We could see a three-way battle for first position. Cuppett now knocking on the door just outside a second back of your leader, Kevin McManski. Houston's now with just 1.5 seconds back on Jonathan. John taking some nice clean line through turn 2. But Jonathan does own your fast lap of the race with a 1:07.592. Trying to take a look at their steering wheel, folks, and see if we can pick up how much push to pass is left, but it might not matter. Jonathan Cuppett is just flying right now. He's now 3/10 back, and John Houston is watching this battle unfold right in front of him. Now he himself just under a 1.5 seconds back. And we have caught the 8th position car. Looks like Brian Story directly in front of these guys battling for the first position. Now that'll actually help Kevin out a little bit here if he can get a draft from Brian's car. Cuppett on the push to pass. Probably not going to be the best time to do it with the lap car of Story hanging out there. John Houston has also cleared the lap car Story, and now he is in the catbird seat to the battle for P1. Jonathan now, or just a couple tenths behind Kevin, and Houston now just a couple tenths behind Cuppett. The battle for first is on. And Legmansky might just be a sitting duck. We'll watch on board Houston, who's a little bit out of striking distance. No move from Cuppett that lap on the back straightaway going into 4, which is the best passing opportunity if you can get the move done in time to get back online for this really twisty middle sector here. They get just a little short straightaway here before they kind of go back into another series of turns and uphill and downhill runs. See the little hump in the middle of that section there makes it really tricky to get the car positioned on the line. Anything offline, the camber works against you. Houston setting up here on the inside of Jonathan Cuppet. He's looking to get the power. No push to pass usage yet from John Houston. Looks like he's got to check up a little bit there as he had a little bit of a run going on to Cuppet there through the S's section here. They make a run down here into this final set of corners. Houston closing in the back of Jonathan Cuppet. But Jonathan now in an awkward position of having to try to attack and defend. Right now, offense might be the best defense. Cuppet's going to try to get on the high side. Kevin slips it up on the inside there. I don't know if they touched or not, but John's going to get the move done on the outside. Can you believe the action we're seeing here, folks? Houston pulls outside, but he's going to split the cars down the middle. They go 3 wide down the backstretch for position 1. John Houston's going to go from 3rd to 1st. What an absolutely amazing move by Jonathan Houston, who sat patient to see how the cars are going to work out of the draft. They both clear Kevin Lekmansky, who with 6 laps to go is on the wrong set of tires. John Houston put in a brilliant move, and it looks like Jonathan Cuppet spun. Cuppet has spun coming out of the last corner. It looks like he may have got into the wall a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can see any damage on the car. No physical damage to be seen. Oh, John's going to be fuming inside that cockpit. Cuppet's going to be mad. Oh, he was taking a look and battling just a lap ago for the lead here, and Houston made an incredible lunge to get from 3rd to 1st, and now Cuppet's seen what he probably felt was his race slip away from him here with 5 to go. Checking around here, so you got a little bit of space, about 2 seconds between the car. Matt Taylor still in 4th position. Kevin Miller putting in a great run, P5. Aaron Parsons, P6. Chris Moses, P7, who has stolen, quietly, the fast lap of the race. So a good run here from Chris Moses. John Houston still out front to the tune of 2.2 seconds over Kevin Lekmansky. Jonathan Cuppet recovered from his spin on the final corner on lap 46 and now finds himself in 3rd position. And we're not sure if he damaged that car, so I don't know if he's going to have anything for Lekmansky. If he's got a damaged car, see if we can take a look at his wheel here when it gets to the straightaway. If he's got a damaged car, he might not be able to get back to Kevin Lekmansky. That's the corner where Kevin had a little bit of trouble. Or not Kevin, sorry, Jonathan had a little bit of trouble in the previous laps. So working lap 49 to 52. Cuppet has, sorry, we were checking on a couple technical things, folks. Cuppet has now caught up to the back of Kevin Lekmansky and is battling Kevin for P2. Only 3 laps left. Jonathan's probably getting to the end of his tires, and Kevin's probably getting to the end of his tank of fuel. So the pace should probably be a little more level. And Jonathan has a handful there. You heard the tires slip. But Jonathan makes a little bit of a mistake getting the power down, and that's going to give Kevin about another second. Houston has not exactly pulled away from these guys. Still just 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds over Kevin Lekmansky. Now he might have pulled back a little bit and maybe saving his tires. Houston running the alternate tires here all the way to the end. Going to get back on board here with Jonathan Cuppet, who's now just a second back of Kevin Lekmansky, and I don't know if Kevin may have, or Jonathan may have run out of tire. He looked to have some problems putting the power down there in turn 13 last time, and of course that's the one place he made a mistake and spun the car that cost him a shot at the win, if not the win. Definitely been one of the cars to beat all night long. Your pole sitter, Jonathan Cuppet, now in P3. Staying just inside of a second there to Kevin Lekmansky. We'll keep an eye on that. Hop back here to Matt Taylor, who's he's got about 5 seconds behind his teammate here, but a good team result for TCB Racing. Kevin Miller with a fantastic run. Again, P5. Put another lap on Brad Mary's there. Aaron Parsons, who was right on his teammate's heels, now is in 6th position. Finds himself a few seconds back there, about 5 seconds back to Kevin Miller. And Chris Moses, your last car in the lead lap, your fast lap of the night from Chris Moses in P7. Brian Story with a great run in P8. Joel Ekman, P9. And Greg Myers. Under pressure from Alan Jacobs. This might be our best battle on the track, and it's for P10. We're not going to forget about Kevin Lekmansky up here, who now does have Jonathan Cuppet trying to take the battle for P2. 1 lap go. Looks like Jonathan's all zeros on the push to pass. Jonathan tucks it inside. Nice and neat. He's got half a lap to make a move if he's going to get it done. John Houston just right in front of these guys. We'll probably see him cross the finish line, but we'll stay on board with Cuppet to see if he can get it done. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for Cuppet. Last remaining corners for John Houston. There's a lap car in front of him, but it's probably not going to matter. He rounds the last corner. John Houston, your winner tonight. Kevin Lekmansky, P2. Jonathan Taylor, P3. Matt Taylor brings it across P4. Kevin Miller still trying to hang on to that 5th position. Aaron Parsons is 4 seconds back. Kevin Miller with a fantastic run for P5. Something has happened to Parsons. Okay, no, it's not. He's in P6. Just had a little timing glitch there. It looks like Brian Story. Oh, no, hang on. Just another timing glitch again. Pardon me, folks. Chris Moses brought it across P7. Brian Story's going to bring it home in P8. And Brian would be your last car on the lead lap. If he did finish on the lead lap, he may not have. So, looks like that's going to finish our race, folks. Let's run down and grab John Houston, and we'll get him up here in the booth. John Houston, you're in the broadcast booth with Jesse Olson. Congratulations.
Hey, Jesse, thank you very much.
Wow, what a move for the lead. Tell us about that move. We got to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
I was on the push to pass. Don't know if the other boys were as well, but holy cow, that scared me. But I knew I could trust those guys to hold their line, and they did. So I got to give them mad props for that. That was cool, man. I knew that Kevin was in peril because he was on the primes, so it was just a matter of time. And I guess either Jonathan was all used up on his push to pass, or he just wasn't ready to go. But boy, oh boy, that got my heart up in my throat.
I think everybody got 20 beats per minute instant accelerator watching that move on the broadcast. It was a great move. Now tell us about the strategy. You looks like you took primary tires in the middle stint. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. We did an alternate primary and then alternate with 18 laps. It was a little sketchy on the last lap, but it was worth it because it just limited the amount of laps we had to do on the prime, So they were, anywhere from a second to a second and a half off. I was kind of surprised to see Kevin on the primes for that last lap, for that last stint.
Yeah, I think what Kevin's doing is when he went on the alternates a second time, and he did come out behind Cuppet, and he had to spend some laps racing him, and that
That's right
probably
too.
affected his ability to get clear of you guys. And I mean, we were watching it from here. Once you guys got onto your alternates, yourself and Cuppet there, he was a sitting duck.
That's right too. I got mixed up. I thought that Kevin was on the same strategy as us, and he went alternate prime. Oh boy, so hard to keep track of.
Well, you guys rolled the dice, and you came up winners on that one. You came up 7. So congratulations again. Great move for the lead. It was super exciting to watch. I hope the broadcast comes out and you guys are able to check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, man.
Congrats
really appreciate
again.
it.
All right, folks, that's going to be a wrap. Your winner tonight, John Houston, with a great move down the backstretch with a handful of laps to go. Goes from P3 to P1. Kevin Lekmansky brings it home second, and Jonathan Cuppet rounds out your podium for P4. So that concludes round 9 here at Mid-Ohio. Just 3 races left of this 12-race season. Congrats to all those that finished tonight, especially those on the podium. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.